Thank you for joining me again today. Welcome to my channel, Psychic Kathleen. My name is Kathleen. I'm going to talk to you today about two readings that I did, which addressed two very different concerns, and yet, again, common concerns that often plague people. One is love and the other one is health. So the first question was, am I going to always be sick, or am I going to be successful in getting healed? Will I be able to heal myself? The client had suffered extensive health issues, which had included cancer, among other issues, and recurring cancer. So she had been addressing it more than once, and was presently having to cope with a resurgence of it. So the card that answered that was the Seven of Wands. Now the Seven of Wands it's kind of like having a bad plan. The Seven of Wands, sometimes described as a sneaking around card. In classic meaning, it would be imagining that we're at war, and the night before the battle you decide you're going to sneak into the enemy camp and take their weapons so that these weapons can't be used against you the next day. So you go in and you grab 5 of the 7 swords and you run off. Problem is, you left 2 swords behind. So that's why the card is often described as not such a good plan. You need to think this through more carefully. So she actually really didn't have a healing plan. She didn't have a way in her mind that she was going to address this. The doctors had given her a certain length of time to get herself ready for surgery, mentally ready and emotionally ready, but she didn't feel at all ready for that, and so she really didn't have a plan, and what little plan she had wasn't an effective one that would lead her down the path of healing. So her question was also about her primary relationship. So, and this kind of tied in together as well. She felt that her long-term primary relationship, her significant other, was not helping her to go down a healing path. And so she also asked me what she was going to do about that. And that had answered the King of Swords. So the King of Swords meant, which had come up in the insight position. So what that means is that she is actually very resolved about this in her mind. Kings are about resolution. Swords are, air is the element, thinking. It's like logic, thinking things through. So indeed, it was pointing to, she was resolved. So it wasn't as much a conundrum as she was presenting. And I felt she would, at the end of the day, she would leave this long-term relationship, and she would reach a place of being able to manage her health issues in a more comfortable way than she was at present. She wouldn't completely be healed in the sense that she'd be able to go back to jogging 15 kilometers a day. She wouldn't be able to play tennis for hours on end. So she would never return to that full physical strength that she did have at one time, but she would get better at managing the physical challenges that she would now be facing probably for the rest of her life. Now, she did wonder if she was going to live much longer, and I certainly said to her that I didn't see her leaving us anytime soon. So it's never a good practice to tell anyone that they are going to be leaving us and going to spirit at any time. And I had no sense, in all honesty, that she would be leaving us anytime soon. So that was some relief to her, I think. Now the next client, her issue was whether she should leave her present home and follow her significant other to where he would be transferred to. So he was going to get a transfer. It was very clear he would be, and it would be a transfer to many thousands of kilometers away from where she's presently residing, and that would involve her having to leave her children with her ex, which was not a terrible outcome, since they lived full-time with him now, and he was a very, very good father, and she was quite content with the children with him. But it would mean that she wouldn't have the physical access to them that she presently enjoys. And her new significant other, there were issues in this relationship which were already surfacing that were of concern to her. So the outcome card was the Chariot, which would suggest that she would be going. The Chariot is about setting goals and moving forward. It's about knowing where you're going. On even a very practical level, it is about actually how you travel through life. So the Chariot said yes, she would be indeed making this move. Now, how long she would be there, how long would she be staying there, my sense was that it would not end up being a lifetime. It would be a limited time, and she wanted to know how long, since this was a major move, and she didn't want to do it for a few months, really. And I said 2 years. So in 2 years' time, the Two of Swords is suggesting in 2 years' time she would be having to make a decision, stay or go. So she would be once again in a very similar place mentally that she is in right now. Am I going to remain or am I going to go? So it wasn't likely to be long-term. However, what needed her acceptance was the Prince of Cups. And so Prince of Cups is like Romeo. Knights or princes are about action, and cups are like hearts. So what needed acceptance is this is the prince of her heart, or he is Romeo to her. She clearly loves this man. She's madly in love with him, and she was going to be with him for quite some time to come. So we weren't seeing a split anytime soon, and indeed he had claimed her heart. So thank you once again for joining me today. I've enjoyed working with you and explaining more some of these readings and what cards were pulled in response to the question and the concern the client brought forward. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, press the notification bell beside the subscribe button to receive notifications of more uploads in the future. And I'll look forward to working with you again soon. Bye for now.